Today on Community Cooking, we have guest chef Rana in the kitchen cooking authentic Indian cuisine. We're making spicy salmon served with turmeric curry potatoes. You won't want to miss it. We're cooking with some of the best chefs right here in our own community. So grab a seat, get comfortable. We've got another great show for you. This is your Community Cooking. Hello and welcome to Community Cooking. I am your host, Kirk Leins, and in the kitchen with me today is Rana Samad. Hi, Rana.
Hi, how are you, Kirk?
I am great. Welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me back again.
Listen, no, I should be thanking you because when you come, I know that the kitchen's going to smell good and the food is going to taste even better.
They're all roasted and ready for use.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, you've brought another great Indian menu with you, correct?
Yes.
What are you making for us today?
Today I'm going to make you some spicy fish, which is very common in India and Pakistan.
We're using salmon.
Salmon. The fish I'm using is salmon, and then I'll use the tomato, the turmeric, curry potatoes today.
Beautiful. What do we need to start with this salmon?
So first we are going to saute the different seeds we have.
Yeah, run me through these seeds. What do we have here?
So we have the mustard seeds, the cumin seed, the fenugreek seed, and the black seeds. And we have some curry leaves, and we have cumin powder, coriander, turmeric, which we have to have it, and then we have some crushed chilies to go with this.
Okay, and you mentioned that you were going to saute these first. This is a pretty common technique in Indian cooking, correct?
Yes, we just get the spices ready to start cooking the dish.
Otherwise, it kind of gives off sort of a raw taste to the spice. This sort of brings it all together and blooms.
More flavor and more aroma to that.
Okay, great. Let's do it.
Okay, so we'll start putting some oil.
Okay, and what kind of oil are you using?
Today I'm just using some corn oil.
Okay.
Here.
No ghee?
No ghee.
No ghee.
No, not in this dish. I'm not using.
Okay.
Ghee. Yeah. So we'll go ahead.
And where, for people at home who might not be familiar with some of these spices, where can you get these?
You can get it in any Indian Pakistani stores. They are readily available, because some of the spices you might need to saute and grind at home. They usually have it in the powder form, but the seeds are very commonly sold in these grocery stores. Right,
and pretty much a staple in any Indian home as well, correct?
Yeah, we have to have all these and set up ready to go.
And it doesn't stop here. I mean, this is
this is just the starting point for the
What
spice.
does your spice cabinet look like? That's what I want to know.
That's why it's really important that you have your spices ready, because there are so many, you can, forget something, so it's always better to put your spices out.
That's, that's interesting, because you're right. Like, if you go to Indian markets, the spices in this section, also they sell these sort of like a tray, and they'll sell little vessels to hold.
That's right. Yeah.
And you know what? That makes perfect sense. You kind of need it all right there while you're cooking. If you were to run back and forth from the cabinet for every spice,
you might forget something, or so it's always nice to put your spices out.
And what's so amazing is just standing here in front of these spices, how good it smells, and they haven't hit any heat yet.
Yeah. So
really, really, really awesome smelling spices.
So should we start?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with our cumin seeds first.
Okay.
We'll put the heat a little bit more.
Yeah, there we go. You can see them starting to shimmer.
And you can see this started, and then we'll go with the mustard seeds.
And if it doesn't smell good enough already, in probably about 30 seconds, it's going to start smelling incredible in here.
And we go ahead with 1 teaspoon of fenugreek seeds here.
Fenugreek. That's something that I think most Americans aren't really familiar with, correct?
Yeah. And these are the black seeds, which are called the Nigella seeds.
Nigella seeds.
Yes.
Okay. Also known as black seeds.
Black seeds, they are more commonly known as black seeds. And then we'll go ahead and you will hear a few splatters with this
now,
one too.
with the curry leaves, I know a lot of Indian families will actually grow like curry leaf plants in their backyard, correct?
That's very correct. This is, it gives a lot of flavor to any food, and you can just put it in any flavors. It goes very well with eggs too, basically.
With
So,
eggs?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So we'll slightly saute it.
Okay.
And then I'll ask you for some ginger and garlic.
Yes, and you know, I remember you did this last time, and I
Yes.
just love this technique, and we'll talk about it again. Basically, what you're doing is you're pulverizing the ginger and garlic.
Yes.
And now, do you do this in a blender, and you little water in there?
Yeah, I usually try to use some vinegar so it can stay for a little longer.
That sort of stabilizes it so
Stable.
it lives in the
Yeah,
refrigerator.
so
Okay.
so it's
And it's
better.
great because it's just sort of ready to go. And
Go.
what I like about it is, you know, especially with the ginger, it's you can see from right here, it's very woody.
Yes, that's
So if you put pieces of ginger into a dish, it never really breaks down all that much. You kind of have to chop it really small.
Yeah, Julian
So
style, yes.
To pulverize it like this is really like
Yeah,
a great way to go.
Great way.
Okay,
Blends
so you
it
need some of
very
this
well.
next?
Yes, please.
Okay, here you are.
I'll take some ginger and I'll take the garlic too at the same time.
You got it.
And whenever you try to put these, the ginger and garlic usually splatters just to cool it down because it's a little warm here right now.
Okay.
Can I have the water, please?
You may.
Yeah.
There you are.
Okay, thank you very much. And
Yeah, it's smelling good. I was right.
so I'll just
This is about when you would turn that
Yeah.
fan on right above your
Yeah,
stove, right?
Yes. So it's already started to splatter a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, so
One
healthy,
piece.
so clean. So, what you doing here? Are you creating like
I'm
a little sauce?
Yeah, I'm just going to create the sauce. So we have put the ginger and garlic and just saute the ginger and garlic, and then I'll put all the dry spices
Gosh,
in
it
it
smells
here.
good.
So it takes a minute here and there.
That,
Just-
that, that smells insanely good.
Yes. So it's almost getting it ready here. So
Does your house
Carrot.
always smell like awesome Indian food?
yes. So with all this smell, you know.
Yeah, I would
So-
imagine.
So we'll start with our turmeric powder first. Half a teaspoon here. And then we have fresh cumin powder. 1 teaspoon. So basically we are just getting the sauce ready.
So you use cumin in its seed form and,
And-
its powder
and the
form.
powder
Okay,
form, yes.
wow.
And then we have the coriander powder.
Okay. And
And-
are let me guess.
Yes.
You're making this at home. You're not buying it in powder form.
No, I usually buy it in a raw form, saute it a little bit, and then just grind it.
Yeah, I don't.
So-
You know, I don't know if there is a culture that is more serious about their spices than the Indian culture, right?
Yeah. So it's always nice, and you know, it gives all the aroma and the flavor. And in the end, I'm going to use some crushed
Oh,
chilies.
yeah, you
here.
are. Yeah, you are. All right.
I'm just going to saute it for a minute here.
Awesome.
I'm just going to add a little more water so the sauce, so we have a little more sauce. So now my sauce is kind of ready. So
We do the salmon.
yeah, I'll put a little bit of salt.
Okay.
So I didn't put the salt here.
All right. There you are.
Thank you very much. And then we'll just
And you just got
So-
nice little thin fillets, just
fillet.
small.
Yes. It's always better to cut them and slice them. So I've sliced them. If you have thick fillets.
And this is not going to take long to cook, correct?
No. So we'll cook 3 to 5 minutes on each side.
Okay.
So just have to turn it one time.
Beautiful. And the sauce does all the work.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that is going to be a very aromatic and flavorful sauce.
sauce, yes.
And you brought enough
Getting
salmon to feed an army.
Yeah. So
You made the crew
since
very happy.
everybody so I bought the big pan. We can just put it. I'm just trying to fill up the pan here.
Now,
Use up all the fish.
now
we
in
have.
India, what type of fish would be used? Because I mean, I would imagine there's a ton of salmon. there.
Yeah, tilapia, pollock, the other local fish, freshwater fish we
Maybe
use.
some
yes.
maybe some sea bass.
Yes.
Different types of sea bass. Okay. Yeah, I would imagine that you don't probably see a ton of salmon there.
Yeah, so we'll just let it simmer for a little bit.
Well, I tell you what, we're going to let that salmon finish cooking.
Okay.
We'll give it a flip, do a little cleanup around here, and we'll come back. We're going to make those the turmeric curry potatoes,
yes,
right?
We'll do that.
All right, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
My name is Carly. I'm 15 years old and I am a heart recipient. I got my first heart transplant when I was 1.5 years old. I got my second heart when I was 13. When I step out on stage, I think I'm communicating with people. I would like to tell them that I want to make a change in life. Like, yeah, you can have 2 heart transplants, but that doesn't stop you from doing the things that you love. When I get my driver's license, of course I'm going to say yes to be an organ donor because I've been saved twice. So who says I can't save somebody else? It's just the beginning of a new story.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Every year, 40% of all food in the U.S. never gets eaten.
40%. That's almost half the food we produce.
Food waste is a serious problem. It impacts all of us.
And it's expensive. Your family is throwing $1,500 a year in the trash.
Here at Chop Jr., we're working hard to put food waste on the chopping block.
And you can do the same at home.
Learn how to cook it, store it, and share it.
Just don't waste it.
Go to SaveTheFood.com.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. If you're just joining us, I am here with Rana Samad and a delicious smelling plate of salmon. This, I got to tell you, this is driving me nuts. Yeah. Now, we just let that finish up, I think, what was about maybe 2 minutes on each side?
Yes, a couple of minutes.
And then you garnished it with some sliced jalapeno.
That's right.
Seeded, no seeds.
Yeah.
This thing's going to be hot enough as it is. Some cilantro and then lemon.
And lemon juice.
Okay.
Yes.
So I tell you, why don't we put this back here? I'll say
to
goodbye to you for now. And we're on to the turmeric potato curry. Okay,
right.
So what do we need for that? Potatoes, obviously.
Yeah, we need the potatoes. And for this recipe, I will be using only crushed cumin seed, crushed coriander, and we have some crushed chilies.
Okay.
Except for the turmeric, which is a powder form. Otherwise, we are using all crushed.
Everything else is crushed.
Yes.
Okay. Where do we start?
So we'll start putting the oil and
Okay.
getting the spices ready. In the meantime, if you can please cut
Sure,
the
just
rest
slice these up.
Yeah, just
you
slice.
got it. My
So here
pleasure.
we go. Here is a little bit
Okay.
of oil.
Now, one thing sort of dawned on me. That the dish that you just made for us.
Yes.
That's. I mean, I would imagine that would taste really good with chicken as well. If someone didn't like fish.
Yeah, they can do it in the chicken as well as beef, and lamb is very great with those spices. So you can just, it'll take a little longer. Fish is the quickest way to go.
Right.
So.
I gotcha. Okay. Now, here's another question for you. I'm looking at this dish. It has both, pretty copious amount of crushed red chilies,
Yes.
as well as jalapenos. So that's going to be a decent heat level to that.
Yes.
Now, in my home, I've got 3 young boys.
Okay.
All right. The older 2, 12 and 9, they're pretty good with spice. The youngest, oh my gosh! All right. I mean, you put too much black pepper on a dish, and he'll tell you about it. How does that work when you're feeding this dish to kids? Growing up in this culture, at what point do you realize
and this is optional. If you want to go down a little bit, you can put a little less crushed chilies, or even if you want to substitute with paprika, So you can do it according to your taste and your, point of view with the children,
Well, I know that certain parts of India, the food is fairly spicy.
Yes.
Fairly spicy. Is that food being served to people of all ages, like little kids?
Really? They are accustomed to, the kids there too.
You're just born into it.
Yeah, they're born into it. And from the younger age, whenever they make a food, they will put a little bit of. So
I'm going to tell that to my 7-year-old. I mean, you're just born into it. You're just going to eat it.
True.
That's great.
So the potatoes are ready?
Yes, they are all ready.
Okay, so I'm going to start again with the cumin seeds here, a little bit of.
Okay.
So that's.
And it's nice. I mean, it's nice to do in a potato dish. We see so many Indian dishes that come along with rice.
Yes.
So to have a potato dish, that's kind of nice.
Yeah. So here we go with the crushed coriander. And we are going to use a teaspoon of crushed cumin.
More crushed red chilies.
And crushed red chilies. Just 1 teaspoon here. If
Okay.
you want more or less, it's optional. And we can
So
put a
this
little
looks like
bit
it's
of
going to be
turmeric.
almost like an Indian fried potato.
That's very right.
Nice. Indian hash browns.
Yes.
I bet you this would be really good with eggs.
Yeah. So we are going to start putting it, getting a little bit. Just cool
And
it
I
down
love-
a little bit here.
I love how you add a little bit of water, you
Water
add,
to-
and you add the garlic and ginger, and it creates like its own sauce.
Sauce, yeah.
That's
so
so nice.
basically we are getting the sauce ready here too.
You know, it's one of the things about cooking, I think, that throws a lot of people is that sauce component. You know, and when you have something that sort of makes its own sauce, that's sort of a neat thing, especially on a weeknight, you know, when you don't want to take the extra step.
And it goes well with your rice or the bread or by itself too. So we are
Anything.
going to saute the ginger garlic with it here.
That smells great.
And I'll just ask you if you can pass me.
You sure may. There
Okay,
we go.
thank you. You can just, easy to go. Here we go.
How long do those take?
So they should take not more than 6 to 8 minutes.
Okay.
So we are just going to saute it here a little bit.
You could probably, you could probably throw some other root vegetables in there too, probably.
Yes, you can do
Carrot?
You can do carrots,
Parsnip,
cauliflower,
right.
any mix. With this sauce, you can put any vegetables, and
Well,
then you know.
If you throw cauliflower in there, you're very close to aloo gobi, right?
Yeah, that's aloo gobi. Cauliflower is
One of
aloo
my
gobi.
favorites.
Yeah.
That's one, and then maybe a little tomato too in aloo gobi
Yeah,
as well, right?
Tomato goes very well too.
That's one of my favorites.
So I'll just put half a teaspoon of salt here.
That's going to be very
And
good.
we're going to add a little bit of water so the potatoes get done here.
Okay. And yet another component that's going to be ready pretty fast. I mean,
Yes,
we're looking at how many minutes, you think?
I think so 6 to 8 minutes. The potatoes, when they're done, we don't want to overdo it too.
Yeah, because
So
they start to.
so
You
they
don't want them
become
to.
soggy.
You don't want them to break down and fall apart. You don't want them
yes.
quite there.
Yeah.
You want them.
So it's not too much stirring or anything. So we're just making sure we have a little more water. So it's get done. Just move it around.
Yeah, and you know the other thing that I really like about this meal too is, you know, like we said, you know, the spices you do have to sort of procure those, but they live in your cupboard for a long time.
Yes, they are good to go for a long
But
time.
if you look at the rest of the meal, I mean, you made this like, I mean, I can only imagine is going to be an extremely flavorful, delicious meal, with very few ingredients that you had to go to the store for.
Yes,
We have salmon, we have potatoes,
Yeah.
we had some jalapenos,
that's very
some
right.
lemon.
Lemon.
That's about
Some-
it.
And some cilantro, fresh
Some
cilantro.
cilantro, right?
Yes.
Right, and that's about it.
The green chili cilantro, the garnishes are really important.
Yes.
And the lemon juice brings all the flavor out too.
Right,
So
and
in
sort
the
of brightens
end-
it and
yeah,
freshens it
so,
up.
Yeah, so in the end we like to put a little bit of lemon in there.
So now we're just got to let these cook?
Let this cook for, I'll just time it for another 5 minutes
Well,
and just check it and then
I'll tell you
ready
what.
to serve.
I will, while you're doing that,
Yes.
I will clean up.
Okay,
I will bring everything out. I will set up a nice little plate.
okay. And then you're ready to taste
We're gonna
it.
eat.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited too.
Do not go away. We'll be right back.
You look incredible. Did you go tanning? Yeah, check it out. Jealous.
Best spring break ever.
No. You're getting so tan. Finals are the worst.
I'm so glad they're over.
We need some sun.
I can't believe our friends are getting married.
She looks amazing. Where's your tan? I can't go tanning anymore. Doctor's orders. It's melanoma. I'm stage 3.
Melanoma is the second most common cancer for young women, 15 to 29. Protect yourself. Protect your friends. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Hi, I'm Jordan Peele. I'm usually trying way too hard to be funny. Well, right now I'm going to be completely serious with you. Online bullying is a toxic side effect of modern technology. No one's immune to it. Not you, not me, nobody. But there's a way we can fix it. This emoji in the symbol section of your phone's emoji keyboard. Use it when you see bullying online to say, I see what you're doing, not cool, definitely not funny. And I know what funny is. I coined the phrase wordness to the turdness. So, join me and become a witness. When you see bullying online, use this emoji to do something. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org.
Welcome back to Community Cooking. If you're just joining us, well, you kind of missed out because my friend and home chef Rana just showed me how to make two exquisite dishes. I mean, it smells so good. We have our spicy salmon and our turmeric potato curry.
That's very right.
So delicious smelling, and now it's time to eat. Okay,
Go ahead,
so I'm going to garnish with a little lemon here, right? And I should also mention, you know, not like you didn't bring enough salmon and enough potatoes. You also had to bring some rice and some naan bread, right?
Yes, that goes very well with that. If you're on a diet, you don't want to use the rice and bread. It can stay, but
so just for demo purposes, you had to make us some rice.
yes.
Got you. Okay, so I'm going in on this salmon here. Let's see.
Let me taste it
Oh my
too.
goodness.
So if it's put the
Rana,
salt
that is
in
so
it.
delicious. It is so fresh tasting. And you know what? Considering the amount of chili, okay, well, there it is. I almost spoke too soon. I almost spoke too soon.
It will come in a little bit.
But you know what? It's still not bad. It's still not bad. I don't know if it's my 7-year-old approved, but at the same time, my other kids would definitely eat this.
Yeah. So for the children, you can, you know, just don't put the green chilies and just don't put the
or use
red
two
chilies.
separate pans.
Yeah. Just put a little less in there.
It's so good. Wow. All right, potato time. You know, I'm just thinking, this would be really good leftovers the next day.
Yeah, and you can make some sandwiches too.
That's what I was going to say. Like, maybe almost treat it like tuna.
Yeah.
Flake it up.
It can be a tuna patty.
Right. Flake it up. Maybe a little bit of I mean, you can almost make like a spicy salmon salad. Okay. Let's try these potatoes here.
I hope they're nice and tender.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Perfectly cooked.
Okay.
Perfectly cooked. And I could see this going with anything.
Yeah. So
It'd be nice for breakfast in the morning with some eggs.
yes, with eggs.
Wow.
Right
That is
a good filler for the
absolutely delicious. Rana, you did it again.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
I'm happy you're enjoying it.
I think you're batting 1,000, as they say. We have to. I have to check the stats, but I think you're batting 1,000. I mean, every dish you've brought has just been so amazingly good, and you know what? Relatively simple and quick to prepare.
Yes, within half an hour you can have a dinner.
You just promised me one thing.
Yes.
That you're going to come back and do this again.
I will do it again. My pleasure.
You have to come back too, because we really are cooking with some of the best chefs right here in our own community. We'll see you next time on Community Cooking. It's great.
If you'd like a copy of the recipes seen on this show, send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to the Office of Cable and Community Relations. That's 3350 Civic Center Drive, Suite 200, in Torrance, California, 90503. Be sure to note the show number displayed on the screen. And don't forget, you can find all the fresh ingredients used on today's show at the Farmers Market. Visit the one here in Torrance at Wilson Park. That's located at 2200 Crenshaw Boulevard. They're open every Tuesday and Saturday from 8 a.m. until 1 p.m., rain or shine. And if you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us at communitycooking@torranceca.gov and check us out online at youtube.com/Torrance CitiCABLE and like us on Facebook at Community Cooking TV.